So my low moment of yesterday was pooing myself. Good morning, this is day 32 of hiking from Mexico to Canada. This morning it's 5:45 a.m. and I've kicked off hiking. We've got 20 miles or 32 kilometers ahead today, and it's mostly downhill, and it is absolutely beautiful weather here today. It's about 11 degrees at the moment. No idea what the weather's doing today, but it looks nice and clear and sunny, so it should be a good day. Yoo!
Welcome to False Paradise.
Good morning. So just going to do daily check-in. It's about 6:15. Start off mentally, probably feeling a bit flat today, but it's a nice, beautiful day. I'm out walking nice and early, which is sick. So I'm just going to ease in, listen to some music, some good podcasts. Physically feeling pretty good. My right arch is a bit tender and sore, but I'm also not surprised because of the miles I've been doing in the last few days, so I'm not too concerned about that. Also, my wrist, just right where my watch is, I had a near miss 2 days ago, actually really close near miss. I was walking down Baden Powell mountain, and there was quite a steep embankment, real rocky, and there's a whole bunch of switchbacks, and we'd stopped and were looking out at the view, and then we just heard this noise, and all of a sudden a big, probably the size of my fist, rock came bouncing down the embankment and bounced up and clocked me right on the wrist, which I'm so lucky, because if that hit me in the head, I reckon I would be dead. It had a fair amount of speed to it. Also lucky where it did hit me, because I reckon if it hit me in the hand or fingers, I reckon I would probably have a broken bone. But sort of hit where my wrist was a bit bent, and half hit my watch band, and then sort of hit my hand/wrist, and because it was bent, it sort of moved, and a bit of shock absorption there. But it's like got a deep bruise, super tender to touch, and it hurts every time I use the hiking poles for every step. But again, super thankful that it didn't hit anywhere else, because I reckon it could have been a trip ender for sure. What else? 3 things I'm grateful for. Grateful for that travel. The caretakers of the Boy Scout group, they gave us some beers, a mandarin. It was a great site. There was water, there was toilets, so super thankful for that. Thankful for my puffy jacket. I've been using it in my tent as like a curtain without a fly, so I'll put a video showing that, because that's pretty cool. I'm thankful for my shoes. They've held up pretty well, and they're keeping my feet nice and healthy with no blisters, so I'm stoked for that. And then I'm thankful for my my stove, being able to have a nice warm breakfast every morning and warm coffee. It's so nice, especially getting up nice and early, hearing the birds, and seeing the sunrise, and it's nice and cold temperature, but you know it's going to be a warm day. That's really nice. My low moment of yesterday, it was probably in the afternoon. I'd run out of water, and I was sitting there tossing up what I was going to do, whether I pushed on to get water, or whether I just stayed put to camp with the others and wait for them. So I sort of waited for about an hour, and they didn't rock up, and so then I finally made the decision to push on, which was good, because I ended up at the next campsite. But it was sort of like, yeah, it was just a bit, I was just sitting there a bit bored, waiting. My moment was definitely coming into that campground, because I was expecting to do like 6 miles to get to water, but then walking only 1 mile and being given a beer and a mandarin and having access to water, toilets, and tables. Yeah, that was super nice. Yeah. Anyway, it is an absolutely beautiful day here, and I'm so lucky to be able to do this every day for the next like 5 months. It's so nice out here, and it's such a nice life to be able to get up, eat, drink, poo, and walk on. Actually, my moment of yesterday, so my moment of yesterday was pooing myself. So in the morning, I woke up, and my stomach's just getting back to normal after doing that 24-hour beer challenge where I drank 24 beers in 24 hours. No, where I drank 24 beers, ate 24 burgers, and walked 24 miles in 24 hours. My guts are still trying to get back to normal. And in the morning, I woke up at like 5 a.m. Actually, I had a dream right before I woke up that I shit myself. It was just this weird dream where I was walking and I just shit myself. But then I woke up and I needed to poo. So that was probably why I had a dream about it. And then, I was trying to find my clothes, get my shoes on, because I wanted to just put everything on so I didn't have to faff around and come back and get changed again. And then when I was sitting just at the edge of my tent putting my shoes on, I just let a little nug out. It was more very soft Mr. Whippy. And then when I got up, I was like, oh no. And there were pit toilets, but they smelt like absolute crap. And it's super dark and dank in there, and I far prefer to go dig a cat hole and use a bidet. So then I started walking up a hill. I was like, yeah, here's a nice spot. And then I saw the trail was right next to it. So I walked on another like 150 meters, finally found a spot. And then, I felt like a little baby. It was shit all over my ass. So I had to use above quota of my baby wipes for the day. Normally I just use 1 a day. I had to use like 7 to clean things up. And then I had to pull my jocks off and freeball for the day. But again, another thing I'm thankful for is flowing water. I was able to get to one of the campsites where we had lunch and there was taps. So I was able to wash everything out, which was nice. But it's just funny because, we're all human. And at some point you're going to shit yourself and you feel like an absolute idiot doing it. But it's completely normal. And I think it's also just funny to talk about because it happens to everyone and it's going to happen to you at least once. Right, that sun's just popping through. I think I'm going to take my warm gear off. I hope you guys have a good day out there because I'm going to have a great day. Yoo! How's this? Bit of trail magic. Yoo!
Welcome to False Paradise. They're ringing in my ears after this one.
Nice.
Not only high pitch, there was a low hum, but only
just left the Trail Magic. Absolutely highlight of the day. Sat down, had a hot coffee, then got a breakfast burrito with sausage and egg and chorizo, and then a cinnamon scroll, followed by some snacks for the day, so like a little Coke and an energy drink and some little packets of Oreos and chips. Absolute legends, and especially on a day when feeling flat, to come across some Trail Magic early on in the day was sick. And so nice to have such a good Trail Magic community on trail, especially hiking every day where it's long stretches. Of course, you're going to feel down at some time on some days, and then to have those little things, the little highlights, is so nice.
Not only a high pitch, but also a low hum, but only really heard when totally
This is the last water source for approximately 15 miles.
Yeah, already.
Load right up. Also, we've got camp tonight, so we need water for dinner and breakfast. Caught up in conversation with